G'day everyone, Scarlet Blaze here, and today I'm going to be talking with you about my March favourites. I do apologise for not being so much present on YouTube recently, as I have been battling with some of my own medical issues lately and have been a bit under the weather, but I'm feeling a bit better now and I'm ready to get back into my YouTubing. So my number one favourite of this March would be Korean Odyssey. It is a K-drama. The episodes go for about an hour and 40 minutes, almost the length of a movie. It is an absolutely amazing K-drama where you follow a protagonist who is constantly surrounded by ghosts and has been her entire life. And she meets her fairy once again later down in the future. So if you haven't seen it, I would suggest watching the trailer for it and checking it out for yourself. I'd give it more than just the first episode, because each episode just brings you in closer to wanting to watch the next episode. I'd always get so depressed when I had to wait for the next episode the week later. It's currently now all out, but as I was waiting for each and every episode, I was just sitting on the edge waiting for the next one. And so they finally finished the season. There is only one season. Most K-dramas only have one season, but they have left it open if they wanted to make another one. And I surely hope they do. But yeah, so check it out, Korean Odyssey. It's absolutely amazing. It's your typical K-drama acting, but I love it. It's better than Australian acting in some senses. No offense, Australians. Anyways, but yeah, so Korean Odyssey, I definitely say check it out for yourself because it is really good. My number two favourite of March would be my teacup calendar, if I can get it in there. So basically you have a picture of some form of teacup layout with different kinds of teas in it for every month, and it has a little saying. And for instance, some of the months we've already had, let's just go with March's because that's the only one I can have open. So, a friend is what the heart needs all the time. And it tells you sometimes who has said it or if no one had said it. But yeah, and I absolutely love the set out of just having like a cup of tea sitting there with a lovely little saying. I find that having a cup of tea in front of me always makes me feel relaxed and, you know, it's like winding down from a hard day's work, or you have just had a hard day in general, whether it be with family issues or other sorts of things. But yeah, so I find that that is a really nice calendar and I absolutely love it. Two other things that I have fallen in love with this month that I've created myself, and let me know in the comments if you want me to do a video on how I made them. So I've got this Sleep Well spray. It's a spray that you spray around your bed at night before you go to sleep. Obviously you do not touch any technology before you go to sleep. You spray this, you relax in bed, and the nice scent calms you down before bed. The actual essence in this is called Sleep Well. That's why I've just got the lovely little saying just here. So that's something that I've enjoyed all month this month, and I've been sleeping really well because of it. Another thing is my phone cleaner, it's a screen cleaner. It's not just a phone cleaner, but I've just put phone cleaner on it so I don't get it mixed up with other stuff in the household. And basically what you do is you have your, say it's a fibre cloth, microfiber cloth, or even like kind of similar to those glasses cloths, but I'd go with a microfiber cloth. You spray the cloth about once or twice, maybe 3 times. You grab your device. So, for instance, I got my device here, and you wipe it down and it'll come out shiny and basically like you've just peeled the plastic off of it if you've bought it, you know, brand new. So, I've enjoyed this. You only do it once a week. You don't do it every day because there is no real, like, they haven't done a test on this stuff to see if, you know, it will deteriorate the screens of today's society. But so far so good. I've used it on majority of my devices that I've had for well and truly over a year and whatnot. And you know, it's basically just a cleaner for your phones and your computer screens and your tablet screens. I usually just stick to my tablet and phone because those are always things that can get replaced. I don't use it on my computer screen. I'm not game enough to use it on a computer screen yet, or a laptop screen, because, you know, that's much more harder to replace than it is a tablet and a phone if something were to go wrong. But I've been using this phone cleaner, and I mean, it's a basic organic kind of phone cleaner. Organic? Oh, I don't know if organic's the word I'm looking for. A DIY phone cleaner. And, you know, you could use this to clean lots of different things besides, you know, your phone screens and whatnot. But I find that has been very helpful. And if you'd like me to do a video on how I made these, let me know in the comments down below. Or if you'd like me to put the recipes in the description, let me know in the comments down below. Another thing for this month that I've absolutely fallen in love with, well, two things really, is my new S9 Plus. I've had some ups and downs with this. Like, there are good things and bad things about the new S9 Plus, and if you want me to make a video about it, I'll let you know if you let me know in the comments down below. But basically, I've absolutely loved having my new S9 Plus. I mean, obviously there's some getting used to, because my old phone used to have like the middle down button, hold down button, home button. Oh, English today, Scarlett. So basically I've been having to get used to the fact that there is no home button and that it's basically like an invisible home button. And the new unlocking screen here, like, you know, using your finger here instead of back when you used to have to swipe it in the middle of the home button. So I've quite enjoyed my new S9 Plus. I've enjoyed my tablet, Tab A. Oh, don't know what they call them. 8-inch Tab A, the new version, 2017 version or whatever. And they've both been really good. I'm currently in the middle of getting a not a screen protector. I'm currently in the middle of getting a cover for my tablet because it doesn't have one and it didn't come with one. This phone, however, came with a clear cover, but I'd already had ordered one for this phone when I knew I would be getting it. So that's another thing that I've absolutely loved. So I got, obviously, Thomas Kincaid's lovely Beauty and the Beast painting, but on a phone case. And it is absolutely, you know, I actually have a Thomas Kincaid, one of his actual paintings of the Beauty and the Beast one, and it costs a lot, and it has just as much beauty as that painting does, and it makes me so happy to have this phone case on my brand new phone with something that I've always loved and cherished. Like, Thomas Kincaid, the master of light, has done numerous paintings that have been absolutely out of this world. You would not have thought that someone could paint something so beautiful, do you know what I mean? And give it just that right hint of sparkle. And the one thing I loved about, like, some of his Disney related paintings is that he'd have a sign, like, he'd have like a number in the corner that he's written on, and it would be the number of how many items in the painting that are little messages to his wife, whether it be his wife's first initial or whether it be like little hearts and stuff that are hidden in the paintings. And I thought that that is absolutely the most romantic thing that anybody could do for their partner, is to put a little message into every single one of the paintings, regardless of the fact that not all the paintings are kept. They're obviously sold. And I thought that that is the most romantic thing you could do. And I absolutely love this phone case. It's got a beautiful glittery shimmer to it on top of the beautiful painting that he has created. Like, it's obviously a replica. It's not obviously the painting itself. But even for a replica on a phone case, or, you know, any of the other replicas that you can find out there, because there are plenty of replicas, and I kind of feel sorry for the business itself, because they do sell their own replicas, but because of things being mass produced nowadays, you know, any image can be stolen and sold, and it's quite unfortunate. Obviously, there's repercussions for those people who sell those items if they're caught. And, you know, I think it's quite a shame that, you know, like, I kind of feel bad at the same instance for buying a phone case that is obviously a replica and obviously not sold via the Thomas Kincaid Foundation, I believe it is. And on the other hand, I absolutely love the phone case because I love the artwork, you know? Like, it's a conflicting issue in my own personality. Like, love the artwork, hate that it wasn't sold by the real people. But I know it probably would have cost more if it was sold by the real people, into which I can't really afford it. So it's like juggling up those things. But so far, those are all my March favourites this month. You know, I've come across actually a lot of things this month that I've absolutely loved. And I've got a few things coming up for next month. And I know I said in my last video that I'd, you know, pick up the act and whatnot, but I hadn't been feeling too well lately. And that's because of my own medical issues. And so I was trying to get that back on track while, you know, trying to still job hunt for, you know, something that I would be happy doing. And it's just been a bit of a jumble here and there. Jumble fest, if you go with it. But yeah, so upcoming next month, there will be quite a few exciting things. So for instance, big events next month. We have Supernova on the Gold Coast, which obviously I will be attending. I've attended the last, I think 5 years. I think they've had it on the Gold Coast 5 years. I can't remember. I've been attending the Gold Coast one since they started doing it on the Gold Coast, which everyone was happy about because it means we didn't have to travel to Brisbane anymore. Not that there's anything wrong with Brisbane, but I think I really like the Gold Coast venue a lot more than I like the Brisbane venue, because the Brisbane venue was where the Ekka usually gets held. And I'm not a big fan of that venue specifically because, you know, you'd be inside, then you'd have to walk outside to get to your next area, which was, you know, on the other side in some other building, crampy and whatnot. But in the Gold Coast venue, it's actually just all inside. You know, the only part that you need to go outside for is if you want to partake in like cosplay photos and whatnot. You can take photos on the inside, but you I think you're not supposed to be taking photos on the inside because of such, like, so many people walking around. There's not a lot of room to take photos on the inside. But yeah, so I've been cosplaying every year for the last few years, basically. Unless I've had issues, for instance, like I've had costumes not arrive in time for me to do a cosplay, and then I just, you know, be in chillax clothes or redo a cosplay I did the year before. So this year I'm hoping to go as a Chobbit, Chi from Chobbits, as you can see here. And I'm hoping that, you know, everything will turn out right. I mean, I had the costume come in. It was a little bit on the tight side, but I'm also losing weight. So I'm hoping by the time I actually have to wear the costume next month, because it's only a little bit tight. Hopefully by the time I wear the costume next month, I've lost enough weight to wear it. If not, I've got, you know, the character itself, I could wear anything with it. But I've also got a backup costume coming in, and I mean, I've got some other costumes I could always wear if I really, really am desperate. But the best thing about that is, like, you know, you'll have someone run up to you and be like, oh, I love this character. Can I have a hug? Can I have a photo? And I always say yes. You know, the only time I will say no to something, if it comes across really creepy. You know, like putting hands where they don't belong. But that's why I always go now with my partner. And, you know, usually nothing creepy happens if my partner's there. But, like, I remember one year I was getting compliments on my dress, but it was, like, also kind of, I don't know, there's, like, innuendos in the compliments. It was kind of a little estranged. Like, I got looks, but I don't know if I liked those looks. But the costume wasn't even bad. It was, like, you know, I was pretty much covered. Like, you know, I had a shoulder dress, and my boobs were covered, and I think the dress was just above my knees. So it wasn't like it was a short, skimpy dress or a leotard or anything like that. It was actually an actual dress with layers that you can't see under or anything. So, I don't know. People have weird minds sometimes. But yeah. And I mean, it's very hard to get costumes in Australia. Like, there's not a lot of costume places that you can get deals on in Australia. So, I usually buy my costumes from overseas, which means, yes, I do have to include the fact that a lot of them are in Asian sizes, and half the time, if you're buying overseas, the likelihood of them coming in the right size is not always correct. So that's why I didn't fully expect it to be 100% when it came in, and obviously it was on the smaller side of that aspect than it was the actual size it should have been. But in saying that, you know, I have other things I can wear with it because the character is so versatile in what she wears, it's easy. So, yeah, so yes, I buy some of my costumes online. You don't have to, like, as a cosplayer, you don't have to make all your costumes, have to make. You don't have to make all your costumes made by hand all the time. You know, I know tons of people who buy a costume and then they just either fix it so that it fits their body type. You know, for instance, Jessica Negri, she actually sometimes buys costumes and she fixes it to how she wants it to sit on her body. And that's totally fine. You know, that's cosplay. Even minor adjustments to a cosplay that has been bought is cosplay. For instance, last year I actually made my whole outfit. Well, I didn't make it. I had someone else make it because I've got sewing skills, but I didn't have the time to sew because of how hard I was working at my last job. And basically it was Harley Quinn's prison outfit. And so, you know, your orange jumpsuit. And I had to get all orange cotton fabric in the right shade, which is not the easiest thing, apparently. And basically get it to fit my arms and my legs. And that was a bit of a terror because I didn't realize how big my butt was. So that was a bit of a challenge. But yeah, so last year I made my entire outfit. Obviously not the wig and obviously not the tattoos because, I mean, I didn't have the kind of tattoo print paper that you can get, and, you know, so I just bought my tattoos from online. And the wig I obviously bought from online because I do not have wig making skills, nor the time do I have to make a wig. I'm hoping in the future I could probably pick up my cosplay side of things a bit better, because I do have a whole bunch of people that I've always wanted to cosplay, but I've never had a chance to think as to how I could make the costume, because majority of the time, sometimes they don't make certain costumes at all for characters. Like, for instance, I was trying to do Yuno Gasai's, like, you can get her school girl uniform in Australia, because that's very popular, but you cannot get her black dress outfit. You can only get them from, like, China and everything. So I was thinking, oh, well, I could probably, you know, make that, but, you know, it also would take quite some time because it'll be made out of PU leather. PU leather? Pleather? The fake leather? Faux leather? However you want to talk about it. And so basically, you know, it was basically just umming and ahhing about certain things like that. Or sometimes, you know, they'll have cosplays that you want to do or you want to buy, but they're going to be like $200. And, I mean, not everyone has the money to waste $200 on an outfit that you might wear once or twice or 3 times. So if anything's under $60, I always take that chance. Like, okay, sometimes you can get some really shitty quality, but sometimes you can get some great quality. I've had some great quality outfits, and people have loved it. They thought that I made it myself. That's great. You think I made it myself? Sure, I'll go with it. Don't ask me to commission your work because I can't make it for you. And then I tell them the truth if they really, really ask, oh, did you buy that? Yeah. I don't have time to make a costume. I love cosplay, but I will put some time towards that because I do want to learn some things. Like, I know how to do, like, jewelry making and I can sew like basic shorts and whatnot, but I mean, I want to learn to sew some more better quality outfits, or however you want to put it. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, so enough of me rambling on. Basically, those are my March favorites, and I'm so excited for April because a lot is happening in April, and I'm hoping that I might even have some, future career moving in my career. Oh, I can't think of the sentence, but like some new things maybe happening for me in my career. Improving in my career? No, that's not right either. Oh, I can't think of the word. Nah, can't think of it. But yeah, anyways, so let me know in the comments down below if you'll be attending Gold Coast Supernova. Or if you've even heard of it, and if you haven't heard of it, check it out. I'm sure that there's going to be some other YouTube videos on here that will explain Gold Coast Supernova. Basically, it's a nerd fest. And, yeah, let me know in the comments down below. If you wanted to know about the foam cleaner and the Sleep Well sprays, and whether or not you want me to tell you about the goods and the bads about the S9, now that I've had a bit more of a chance to play around with it. But anywho, you will find all my social media links in the description down under, and I will see you later.